Okay, so during this, we want to go over kind of the schedule that we're looking at. We haven't gotten an official schedule from USU, but they gave us kind of a sample, and so we're going to be working off of that. And then we will also go over the papers that need to get turned in. And then we'll talk about fundraising and some different opportunities that students will have for fundraising to help pay for the trip. And then we're also going to talk about Notice, which is the app that we'll be using to communicate with student government, but also it's the app that the school is transitioning to for this next year. So as far as student government goes, like everyone's able to kind of get ahead learning how to use that app, but that's how we'll communicate. So yeah, that's kind of everything we'll go over. And Myers will also go over kind of what the next couple of weeks will look like, as far as we have a couple different meetings and stuff that the students will need to attend or try to attend and whatnot. Okay, so get started with just the paperwork stuff. So hopefully everyone's students, oh, is that flipped for you guys? That's fine.
Oh, it's good.
So it's just flipped for me. So this is the first page that should have come in the packet that your students have gotten. If you haven't gotten them, they are available online. And James, if you want to try to post those into this chat in case someone isn't able to get them. We're still trying to figure out how to get it to the sophomores, because I know the sophomores or incoming sophomores, it's a little bit more difficult to get you guys the paperwork. So we'll figure out a way to get you guys that paperwork as best as we can. So yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll send an email out with the stuff for you if you have a sophomore. Okay. But yeah, this first paper is just a parent approval for an overnight extended trip. So this is just to gather a little bit of data for the district. But it's basically either you approve, right? You're supportive of this trip. So this is Utah State University's leadership conference. I guess I should have started off with that. So Utah State University does a leadership conference that we've gone to every year. It was around when I was in high school, and it's honestly amazing. It's a good networking opportunity for these students, but also they're able to bounce ideas, and we do a lot of work sessions where we're able to plan out what's going on for the next year, a lot of team bonding. And it's also a good way to expose our students early on to higher education, to kind of see, like Utah State, they do some campus tours and whatnot. So it's honestly been an awesome thing that we've done every year. So this paper is basically either you approve of this, or you are supportive of most of it, or you aren't supportive of it, right? So that's something that we need filled out. The second page is, this one's the most important. This is a medical and insurance page. Okay, so you'll notice that obviously there's all the different medical things that you guys will be filling out. But then at the very bottom is a spot to be notarized. I know in years past that West Jordan provided a notary. We're still working on tracking something like that down, but the due date for all these papers is going to actually be this Friday. So I know it's a quick turnaround. So if there's any issues, let us know and we'll try to work with you, but we're trying to get these papers turned in by Friday. So if anyone's a notary here, that would be awesome. Or if anyone knows a notary, maybe we could try to set something up. But yeah, it needs to be notarized. Okay, so that's the second paper. And then the last paper is, it's basically a student writer form. So what this means is that obviously we have student government things that pop up. Like for instance, last week we had to send student government kids to the middle school to go talk about anti-bullying. Okay, so like there's times like that where we're not able to get a bus, right? Especially with only like 20 student government members, we're not able to afford getting a bus every single time we need to go places. So this form just basically is you guys giving consent to let your kids figure out how to get to the certain places, right? So carpooling with other students, getting a ride from another parent, getting a ride from you, right? Whatever. It's basically you saying that you're okay with your parent figuring, or your student trying to figure out how to get to wherever we're going. Right. And we do a good job of making sure everyone's carpooling and safe and whatnot. But yeah, this form's super important with student government. Like during the charity season, we go and do odd jobs, right, every single night. And so we make sure the kids are safe and in large groups, but we're not able to get a bus that goes and takes every single student to every single neighborhood, right? So that's kind of what this form is. So are there any questions about the form pieces before we move on? I'll take the silence as a no. Hopefully everyone's gotten it. Again, if you have a sophomore, we'll figure out how to get them to you guys. It might be easiest if we're going to try to just send them district mail. So they'll probably get there on Tuesday. But if you need them sooner, again, Myers posted the 2 forms. The third one, we can't really print off because it has like multiple copies to it. That being said, this one's not important right now. We'll just make sure that we get that filled out before the school year starts. Okay, so we went through those. As far as the schedule goes for the USU Leadership Conference, we will be leaving Monday, June 6th. So it's the week right after. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my calendar. Well, it's June 6th. Apparently my calendar doesn't want to pull up right now. Okay, so June 6th, that Monday, we'll be leaving at 7 a.m. from the school. Yeah. So 7 a.m. Honestly, plan on being here at 6:50. We want to leave right at 7. And so we'll be taking a bus up there. We're sharing one with Harriman. So we're going to be with the Harriman student government. So there'll be 50 kids on the bus, and we're going up to Utah State. And then it's a multiple overnight. So we'll stay on campus. And there's they have the security and whatnot there all night. So there shouldn't be any issues. Of course, they always get on the intercom. So yeah, that'll be Monday, and then Tuesday night, we're staying there. Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, we're coming back at around 7 is when it's supposed to finish. So hour and a half of travel time. So we'll be getting back around 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. So, and that'll be on Wednesday. So that's Monday to Wednesday. And we'll do lots of different things. There's breakout sessions. As soon as we get an official schedule, we'll send that out to you guys. But there's breakout sessions. They have guest speakers. They do a spirit bowl to kind of show the students how to plan things. And so there's that whole, it's awesome. It's a great experience for that. Okay. So that's any questions about the scheduling? All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, fundraising. So as far as fundraising goes, so this trip is going to cost about $300. We have to pay for the bus, insurance, and then the registration. It includes all 3 meals every single day. It includes a shirt from Utah State, and it includes all the payment for the overnight, for us staying in the dorms and all that. Okay, so we know that $300 can be a lot to ask. And so we're providing opportunities for fundraising. There'll be 2 main opportunities. One is called, I actually have to verify, it's either called, I think it's called Give Me Butter or Get Butter. But it's a straight donation based system. So instead of asking students to go and sell a card or go sell a book or anything like that, it's just straight donation based, right? So there'll be a link that will basically give to your students, and they will be able to go out and they can put it on their social medias. You can put it on your social medias. And 99% of the funds raised goes directly to the students. Okay, so a lot of times when people buy the cookie dough or whatever, right, from the students, it's yeah, they're getting a little something out of it, but usually it's just to support our students. And so we just figure we've seen a lot of success with some of the other clubs and groups that have used this. So it's just a straight, hey, you want to help me afford to go to my leadership conference, donate $10, right? So if you can get 30 people to donate $10, you'll pay for the whole trip. Okay, so that's your first option. Okay, so we're working on getting that set up. That'll be set up sometime next week, and we'll give that out to the students so that they have access to that, and we'll run that for a couple weeks. And so that'll be a good opportunity to fundraise for that trip. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do some sort of car wash during the summer month. We'll set that up where we'll let the students kind of take over this and plan how they want to do that, but that'll be the second option to help fundraise for the trip. Okay, and then basically what will happen is we'll take the amounts that were raised, take a look at it, and then whatever wasn't raised will just be assigned as a student fee to be paid before they graduate if you don't raise the full amount of money. Okay, so that way that gives you plenty of opportunity. With both those things, I don't see it being an issue being able to fundraise for the trip. As far as the sweaters go, the sweaters are actually paid for and owned by the school. And then if the students are able to stay in student government and contribute, then they're giving them as a gift at the end of the year. And that's kind of how it's set up. That just gives us a little bit more, like if there's any issues, like behavior issues, or someone's not pulling their weight, then that gives us the authority to take the sweaters back. But that's nice because you don't have to pay for the sweater that, in my opinion, is overpriced, $250 for the sweater. But the school pays for it. So, and then we give it to your student as a gift if they're able to contribute the rest of the year and make sure that they have no behavior issues or anything like that. Any questions about fundraising? You guys are just full of questions, huh?
Yeah, but the nice thing is that there's no excuse for no student to not be able to go to the leadership camp if they say they weren't able to raise enough money before. I mean, they're going to have, like Cornea said, until they graduate to take care of it.
Right.
And we got fundraisers and other stuff planned.
Yeah. Rebecca, did you have a question?
Yeah. We can just take our payment into the front office.
Yeah.
Will they get a receipt? So if $300 is the estimate, if we pay that and we overpay,
then it'll just be refunded. The remainder will be refunded to you. Yeah, because we had to put with the estimate, like I just estimated high. I think it'll be closer to like 250, 275, but I wanted to give a little bit of wiggle room. Because that's how the district works. You gotta have a little.
Is it better for us to just pay up front so you have the money up front, or wait until we know what the actual cost is?
No, let's, I think it'd be better to wait till we know the actual cost. We should, I think next week is when they're going to be giving us those official numbers, because May 15th, actually, yeah, May 15th is when we give them our official numbers. So that's when we'll know our official costs.
And would you rather us, once we know the official cost, is it better to wait till after your group fundraisers like the car wash, or would you rather us pay sooner if we are able?
So I think we can wait until we have a healthy account. We're really big on making sure we have good finances for student government. So I think it'd be better to just wait till we're done, probably middle or end of summer. And then that's honestly, our hope is that the fundraiser is going to completely cover everything. And so I think it would avoid that if you wait until that segment or until we're done with that. So,
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions about that?
so wait till after camp's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, let's wait till after camp's over at that point. And then, cause yeah, we can just assign it as a student fine if a student's not able to afford it. So there's no need, like, we don't have to have the money up front. We'll put it that way. We'll be fine. So good questions. All right. So fundraising. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to talk about before James takes over is notice. Okay. So I just added your students all in yesterday into the notice app. And so they should have gotten an email to their student emails. Macy, did you get yours? No, you didn't. Did you not check your student email? Okay. But this is how we're going to start communicating. This last year we were using GroupMe. This year we're going to be using Notice because it's a school-wide app that we're really pushing to all the different clubs. And so that's the app we're going to use to communicate to the students. It's also how we're going to like post events. It actually has a really cool feature too, where parents can actually sign in. So once we get that figured out, as far as the parent sign in goes, we'll get you guys added in if you're interested. But it shows like the different events we're doing and different clubs and groups. So it's like an all-encompassing application. But that's important right now because we need to be able to communicate with the students. And so obviously right now it's easy for us because we have a class for the current student government, but for next year's, it's been kind of hard communicating. So if you guys could just like work with your students on getting that app downloaded, it should have been an email that was sent to them. Notice they might not have known what it was. So maybe just talk to them about that and make sure that they download that app so that we can get them added into the student government for next year so that we can communicate.
Johnny has it. So it made it to the kids.
It did? Okay, perfect.
Is there one for the parents? Like, is there?
Yeah, so it's the same app. That's something I'm actually the one working with the application developers. And so there's a way to get you guys added as parents. I need to figure out what that looks like. If you download the app, I think there's a way that you just click I'm a parent is basically what it is when you click register. But I will look into that and we'll send out communication once we figure out exactly how you sign in. But it's called Notice. It's Notis. guess I can just spell it on here so that everyone sees it, but, and there's a Google version and there's an Apple version. But basically you'll click like register and then there should be an option for you to sign in as a parent. So, but again, I'm going to be working with them on that and we'll send out official communication sometime early next week to help you guys figure out how to get on there. Okay, but yeah, again, if you guys could just like check in with your kids and help them get on that app. Basically, they'll get on the app and then they'll be able to go to a spot where it says like my school, and then they can see all the different clubs and groups. And that's where they can add themselves in to student government, and we'll approve them. So
most of your communication will go over this app.
yes,
Notice.
yep. So we're getting all of it through that app so that way it's just like a one-stop shop. And the idea is that every single club and group and anything they're a part of will just be on this app. And so the way to make that effective is making sure that our student government kids are using it first. So they're kind of the guinea pigs, but yeah, everything communicating wise will go through that app for the kids as far as like when they need to be places and whatnot. So it's just replacing the group me that we had been using this last year. Cool. Any other questions about that?
So I got in the supporter and it asks, because do we have to make an account?
It should. So you should have an email and you already have an account created. So there should be an email that you got on your school email.
And it told us to make a password, but like, what do we do for our password?
Should be in the email.
School email, I think, is what it said.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need to, though, you can always hit reset and then you put in your school email and it will send a reset link to your school email.
Okay.
So, and to be honest, there's going to be some hiccups this first like couple weeks with this app that you guys are like 100% the guinea pigs. And so we'll work through it. And so up until we have everyone on the app, we'll make sure we're sending multiple, like we'll send emails along with sending messages on notice. That way it's not like, oh, I'm not on notice, I don't know what's going on. We'll do both until we get everyone on the app the way we need to. So.
For the parents, it requires a school code, but I mean, I assume you'll see that when you're.
Oh, yeah. I think.
Okay, so and that's
somewhere.
So the school code should, I'll look up the school code.
Okay, I got the school code right here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I will
Type it into
paste
the,
it right there and enter. There you go.
okay.
Got a 0 and a no. That's not confusing.
They should be banned from codes, zeros and O's.
I know, they got to use the same thing.
Okay, so yeah, do your best to get on there and we'll send out more notifications as that kind of progresses. But okay, somewhat clear as mud on notice.
More like chocolate milk.
Mhm.
All right, Myers, you want to talk about what's coming up for
Yeah.
weeks?
So we got a couple.
Can you
Yes.
tell the code is the first one a 0 or an O? Do you know?
The first one is a 0.
Yeah,
So it's a 0 and then a Z and then a capital O 4B.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we got a couple events that we're going to be enlisting the help of the upcoming student government members to help us out with. For example, with the senior dinner dance that's coming up on the 14th, right? Is it the 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, on the 14th, specifically, we're going to be requesting that the upcoming senior class officers are going to be helping out with that. One, so that we could have the extra help, and two, so that they can see how it's going to run for the next year when they get to plan it. So specifically only senior class officers for that one. And they're going to be working with our current senior class officers. Now, on the following week, on the 20th, we're going to be holding our stag wire, which is it's basically a stomp. It's a dance where people show up, pay $5, and they get to dance. No couple prices on that, but we are going to be requesting we're going to need the help of everybody, of all of our upcoming and current class officers, class officers and SBO officers to help us with that. And we got a lot going on that night. We're going to be helping out the band end of year dinner as well. They very graciously allowed us to use the commons, so we offered to help them to set up for their parents' dinner and awards and stuff. Okay. Any questions about those?
And then I did just send out a notification or a message to all the incoming student government members. Basically, on next Thursday is going to be we're meeting with admin as a group. So it's not mandatory. Well, that is mandatory as it can be. Let me know if they can't come, but that'll be at 2:00. And then the hour before that, right? Because Fridays they have the 1 to 2 o'clock time slot for classes. 1 to 2 o'clock is an optional meeting with each other and planning out like the shirts that we'll be designing for the incoming or the upcoming school year. So that's on the 13th. And that is, again, the 1 to 2 is optional. 2 o'clock, everyone except the sophomores. There's a meeting that we're going to have with admin. So do your best to make it to that one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if
Okay,
the
I'm
sophomores
sorry.
can make it.
I'm just making sure that I have this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm the only one.
No, you're
Let's
fine.
try
Oh,
to
go
not
right
pay.
ahead.
You're good.
So the 13th from 1 to 2 is I feel like I need this written down. This is where we need the app, right? So from 1 to 2 is, and then from 2 to 3, there's 2 different meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be more like 2 to 2:30 for that, but yeah.
Okay.
But that's for just the student government kids, but yes.
Okay.
And we did send out a message. So your kids should have that in a message from Canvas. So if you need something, so.
No problem. Just making sure that I have that. And then when's the senior dinner again? Sorry, I thought I had it on my calendar, but I guess I didn't.
14th.
Oh, okay.
So it's next Saturday,
Okay.
and then Stagwire is the following Friday.
Okay. And do you need help from parents for that, or you're taken care of?
We're good on chaperones for that. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is, especially with having basically both student governments together, we'll have enough help. It's just kind of teaching the kids, the incoming class, like what's expected and how to do certain things. And it's a very like hands-on, they're going to be learning how to do a dance. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the paperwork, the other thing for the 13th, right, is that's when paperwork's also due on the 13th.
Yeah.
So sorry, this is our first year, so we definitely are like playing around with like deadlines, and we're a little bit behind on some of the stuff, but we appreciate your guys' patience as we get this all figured out. So.
And then with the paperwork, you could just bring it to the front office and tell the ladies up there that it's either for Cornea or for me, and they'll hold on to it for us. And then another thing that we're going to need help with of the upcoming officers with also is the barbecue. They're going to be hosting a barbecue for this graduating seniors after their graduation practice. So that's going to be on June 1st, which is a Wednesday. So yeah, last week of school. Don't know what exactly is going to be going on that day, but we're going to be hosting a barbecue.
What time is it? Afternoon barbecue?
It's going to be as soon as they finish up with graduation practice.
So I think it'll be like around 1, I think is what.
Okay.
Yeah. And so for that, we're going to need to get together and actually plan the stuff for the barbecue. And we'll probably do that, a little bit of talking about that on the 13th, right? At the Thursday meeting, we'll talk with them about that, figure out what exactly what we're going to do, who's going to do what. And then on the 1st, then we're going to actually do the lunch.
Cool. Does anyone have any questions? I know it's a lot of information, so we'll try to get we recorded this, but then we'll also try to get more of like a typed up summary of what we talked about and send that out as well.
On this form,
Yes.
is that just for the Utah State thing, or what do you want us to put on the? I hereby grant my permission for the above named student to travel to.
Put the location. Yeah, that should just be for the Utah State because it's an overnight. Yeah, so
So this is for this medical insurance form is for Utah State.
yeah, I must have missed that with. Oh yeah,
That's okay. So
tried
travel
to
to
pre-fill
Utah
out as much as I could, but yeah, Utah State
with,
June 6th to June 9th, right, or 8th.
and then with, do we just say with West Jordan?
Yeah, with West Jordan High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, would this be a good time to let all these beautiful parents know that they get the wonderful opportunity to chaperone dances?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll create like a form. I know it's great. So we'll get a form created to send out. We'll probably do it through, we try to do as much through digital as we can, but basically you guys will be able to sign up for like what was we got thrown in middle of last quarter or the last semester. So who Macy or someone how many dances were parents supposed to from last year? Was it 2?
This year we tried to get people to try to get each parent to do at least one. I know that a couple of parents came and did like a ton more. But it is super helpful to get at least one dance out of people.
Okay. Yeah. So if you can make the one dance work minimum and then if you wanted to do more, honestly, it's a fun time. You're able to like bring your significant other or come by yourself. We've had people do both. And then you get to just kind of hang out on the outside of the dance. It's not like we expect you to go in there and dance. In fact, your kids probably prefer you don't go in there and do the sprinkler. Yeah, so that is going to be one of the expectations. And so we'll create like a way that we can kind of track that. But basically what we'll end up doing is usually a couple weeks before the dance, kids will go and check and see if their parents are able to sign up for that specific dance. And then we just usually take the first 3 or 4 for each dance. So now you guys regret letting your kids run, huh?
Yep, you got to be involved. Come back to high school. So I'm actually looking at a list of all the users that we have on notice, and it looks like it did work for Ronnie and Angie. So you are officially in notice. I don't know if anybody, any other parents have tried. All right.
Cool. Anything else that we're missing or any questions you guys have? Sweet.
Who are moms that have, I guess Michelle and Rebecca are veterans at this? Anyone else want to give us words of advice? Becca, got some?
Oh, I will just say you guys are up for a really fantastic year. It's so phenomenal to see your kids grow and serve so often. I think you'll miss them a lot, but all the advantages, they work so well together. The problem that we've seen is like, if your kids can't be there, it really puts a lot of burden on the other officers. So try not to, if you can let them stay, it's so helpful because they will be gone for hours and hours working. And even if 1 or 2 people can't be there, it just means more time away from other families. Like your kids can't come home until stuff is done. So if you can just know that they're not trying to like skip out on family things, it's just they're really signing up to be a great representative of West Jordan High School. And it just means a lot to each other when people put in, I don't know, that's just what I've noticed has been, a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because it's a lot of time. But you guys are doing a great job as advisors. We would really appreciate you communicating so well. But yeah.
Thank you. We try our
Your
best.
kids, big hugs. They'll need it.
All right. So we actually have our admin who just joined us. Do you
Who
have any
invited
words
her?
for these parents?
I am so sorry. I had a meeting at Copper Hills High School that was supposed to be short and I just got back. So I really apologize that I wasn't here for the whole thing. I'm really excited to be working with our student government and our SBOs this next year. I think we've got a great group of kids who are going to step up and show us what great leaders they are. I just wanted to tell our student government and SBO officers how proud I am of them for taking this step and for making this commitment for this next school year, because it is a big commitment. And also that I wanted to let you know that, you know, you each have an assigned title, but really we're all in this together, right? And if one person, and I think Ms. Delgarian spoke to this just a little bit ago, that if one person slacks off, other people are having to step up and carry that burden. So we really need you to be committed to each other and to know that you're all going to be a family. So we'll have squabbles, we will have disagreements, but we're going to work together and have a fabulous year. And that you shouldn't feel that because I'm the historian or I'm just the secretary or whatever, that you're less in any way, shape, or form. Know that you were selected out of a large student body and lots of people who applied, and that we want you to put all of your talents to use because you have so many of them. And the joy for us, especially for me, since I don't have to do the day-to-day work that Mr. Cornea and Mr. Myers do, is that I get to watch you develop those talents and put them to good use and come out the other end improved and more than you are, and just to see the growth, in our seniors who are leaving this year. And, you know, they take a little piece of our hearts with them as they leave, but we're looking forward to this journey with you, and I hope you're excited. And I don't know if Mr. Myers has told you yet, my request, my first assignment for the student government officers and SBO officers is to be thinking about what you would like Mr. Cornea to look like in his yearbook picture for next year.
That's
This last year, he was Top Gun. Before that, he was Doc Holliday. So
Actually, I can probably pull it
your
up.
mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find out something that Mr. Cornea can be in this year's yearbook.
There's my Doc Holiday one. So
Yeah, right? So take on that challenge. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. And you're welcome, Tyler.
better be good. That's all I'm saying. Cool. Any last questions? Cool. Well, we appreciate you guys making time for this. And I know, sorry for the confusion and last minute changes, but you guys rolled with the punches and we appreciate it. We'll make sure we send out kind of a overview of this as well as a recording in case there's anything that you guys need to get clarified. And then always reach out to us, right? You can send us an email and we can schedule a personal Zoom call, or we can just respond an email. We're usually available all hours of the day. The emails get sent out at 2 a.m. So.
Thank you for all you're doing. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
You're shouldering a lot of the burden.
It's all
It looks
Jen.
like you have to do something to approve if a parent goes on notice, just so you know.
Okay. Yeah. So Myers and I will figure.
Like, it's fine. Like, that's to come later. I'm just telling you,
Perfect.
it's saying that I'm, you know, not approved as a parent yet.
It wasn't
So
on
others
purpose.
are trying. Yeah.
It was just you that we didn't approve.
It was actually Johnny probably telling you to please not approve his mother.
Personal DM.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, you guys are more than welcome to exit the meeting. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
You are welcome. Take care. Gotta get this back in. Now it's like not going back in. Okay.
You broke it. Early, I'm sorry. I was like trying to hurry, but it wasn't a thing that could be.
Oh, you're okay.
I figured you didn't really need me anyway, because you two are just so self-sufficient.
Something like that. I don't know if that's what I'd call us, but
Okay, well, you two have a good weekend.
you
Come
too.
down and get some, hey, come down and get a cookie. My
Oh, no.
son sent me a party box of crumble cookies for Mother's Day, and
All right.
I will gladly come grab a cookie. I need it.
hurry down before everyone in the office eats them.
Okay.
Heading
down
right
now.
over.
I should stop recording so that this isn't on record.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
So yeah, how do I? Okay. There we go. End.